It's the weekend, and this is the mighty Gluestick. I'm your host AJ. Nice to see everybody. It's been a fantastic month. I've had a great time. The August Craft War is coming up. The theme has been chosen, and that is the Underdark. Yes, the Underdark. There's going to be all sorts of stuff this month. I can just feel it. We've already got a couple of entries, one being focusing on the Drow. I'm going to be focusing on another Underdark race. I'm going to keep you in the dark on this one, but it's not the Drow, but it's another iconic race, and I'm going to be featuring all sorts of like how to transition from a 2.5D tile to a more sort of 3D one, and how to do some sort of relief stuff with Gluestick, and doing more sort of sculpted terrain features, and yeah, it's going to be cool. It's going to take me a long time though, so I'm going to get started very soon. At the moment, yeah, congratulations to Jason and the Doom of Thornwood, the July Craft War winner. Really awesome work for everybody. I think it's just generally agreed that that was a torturous voting process because everything was so awesome. So yeah, thank you very much, very much everybody that entered. All of those that entered but didn't get finished in time, thank you very much for competing anyway, or doing your best. It was great to see whatever sort of stuff, and please, if you've got stuff that you were sort of making for the Craft War and you never got there in the end, finish it off and post it on the forums anyway, because as always we love to see everything. On the topic of the forums, welcome to all the new members. I'm sure there's a few of you who have come over from rpg.net. Nice to see you. We're a bit smiley and happy and fluffy bunnies and lovely encouraging feedback here, so sorry for the absence of trolls, but it's just the way it is. We're very productive, nice and friendly communities that support each other. Can't have everything. Okay, I'm currently working on these. This is the second modular tile set from Heroic Maps, so you can probably see this featuring in some of my future videos. Joe loves me making videos about this sort of stuff, but I'm going to be making more specific, sort of detailed showing of when I've got it all done. But just the first few tiles that I've been making, if you can see here, they're a more layered sort of look, because that worked really well, and this is all sewer stuff, so it's got a central sort of sludge river. Here's a double layered, double wide sort of version here and a single there. It's got little corridor sections that for walkways and the walls, of course. He's included a blank sheet of, well, not blank, it's a textured wall sheet, so you can cut this to whatever wall shapes you need for making your own custom tiles, which is a fantastic idea. He's always making really innovative new stuff, and yeah, he's learning as he goes and adding more features and things, like the squeeze section for this bit here was inspired by other stuff. It's all really good. I won't go into much detail on that. I'm going to save that for a later video, because just a few tiles doesn't really do it justice, but it's a massive set full of all sorts of really good sewer stuff. And he's got another set which is the large rooms, large sewer rooms, and they are quite large, and some of the details on those is just amazing. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that, and it occupies my days every day that I get home from work. Right, mini rant. I promised you a little rant, and yeah, here it goes. So with the greatest respect, remember this is with a lot of respect for everybody in the gaming community. I value everybody's input to a larger or lesser extent, as long as you're being friendly with it. That's fine, you know. But it's a niggle that I'm finding more and more upsetting. For 5th edition, people are really enthusiastic about 5th edition, and lots of really tried and trusted resources and people out there who have a respected community voice are telling you over and over again that it's a good version of the game. It's probably the best edition ever. And I'm not saying just take it for granted that what they're saying is absolutely true. Go out, find the free PDF version that Wizards of the Coast has popped online for everyone to view. Download it, read it, find out for yourself. I mean, it's all there. It's right there for everybody to look at. So there is no need for you to come into any conversation about 5th edition and ask basic questions that can be answered by just going and looking for yourself. Don't be lazy, man. Go and read it for yourself. It's right there. And saying that you don't have time to do that, we had enough time to ask us on a forum and then read our response, so you've got enough time to go and download a free version of the game and read it. Or just go to the relevant section. It's got an index, you can go and check it out yourself. Yeah, so, and also to the people who come on to any topic about 5th edition and say that there are free versions that are all light of the game, of a D&D game that you can go and download for free. Well, we don't want to download a free version of the game. We want the official version of the game and play it as it's intended, because that's what they asked us for, and 175,000 playtesters told them what they wanted, and guess what? They made it. They made a fantastic game. So we don't need to go and find a rules light version of the game. When we're talking about 5th edition, the topic is 5th edition, not cheap games or not supporting the company that produces them. For those people who say that the 2nd edition of the game is all they need to play and they're never going to buy anything else from Wizards of the Coast because it's just a money grab. Of course it's a money grab. It's a company that produces the content that our community thrives on. If they don't produce it, it's like a grass not growing, therefore the cows die. You see what I mean? We give our money to the company produces the products that drive the community on. If we stop giving the monies to the company, the community starts to dry up into pools, like, you know, to use a metaphor here, the river has stopped flowing, and so it's turned into water holes where everybody is trying to take a drink of water and they're just going to end up fighting and killing each other. In the case of, like, a few years ago when the game was at its all-time low, which sort of drove a division and a schism amongst all the old-time players, the online communities really just descended into a bunch of elitist players who were playing house-ruled versions of old games who were bitching and trolling each other constantly, and it was a pain in the ass. So I just sort of switched off and didn't really read any of that stuff because I don't want to know. I had my own vision of the game and that's what I played. You know, but 5th edition is now, hello, welcome back, Dungeons and Dragons and Wizards of the Coast. We love you and miss you, and please give us more of your sweet juice. That's how it is. That's how it is. Like it or not, it's, you know, D&D is back, baby. It's back. And we're fantastically in love with it. And we're talking about 5th edition, and dear God, take my money for this new edition of the game. What I've seen so far has been my wildest dreams come true. I don't know how many people that you need to hear tell you that before you start to just believe it and maybe investigate it yourself. Or, for God's sakes, if there's a conversation about 5th edition, we don't want to know that 2nd edition is all you play. Really, that's great. That's your opinion. Fine, fantastic. But if you're not spending money on the community, on the companies that produce the game and support the community, then why are you spending your 2 cents on our conversation? It's, you know, 2 cents that we'd rather you were spending on the company that's producing the new material, that's gone from producing miniatures offshore to now supporting an American-based company that's producing the new edition of the miniatures and things, a company that's actually doing good things. Yeah, so support them, just as you would support anything that you love. Okay, that's my rant. Once again, love you guys. Love that you supported the game for so long and that we've got that living history of Dungeons & Dragons. So every version of the game that's ever made is still being played. It's still being played somewhere. It's still being played. But 5th edition is the new game, and that's what we're currently talking about. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you feel like it. And I'll see you on the forums, everybody.